If you put a mini bot into the field in BattleBots, you've got to be prepared for there to be nothing left of it afterwards.
What you're telling me is that it was perfectly engineered for a 3-minute fight.
Exactly.
That's what Paul does. In that final impact, it bent, and it's usable as a cooking pot now.
If we only came with like 1.5 robots, we'd make it halfway through the competition, and then there'd be nothing left.
We did make it halfway through the competition, and then there was nothing left.
So there you go.
Today we're talking shop with Endgame and Perfect Phoenix.
On this episode
Of Behind the Battle.
All right, we're now joined by Jack and Nick from Team Endgame. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Tyler and Tyler.
Hey, hey, Tylers. So like, Perfect Phoenix was quite an older robot. Did you and Ray upgrade the parts that were inside of it, or was it the same components?
The funny thing is everybody was asking me, wow, how'd you get it? What kind of upgrades did you get to make it so far in the competition on your first go? And they're like, and I'm like, nothing. There was no upgrades at all.
Right. It's just the same robot.
It's the same robot, but instead of 20 pounds underweight, it was 50 pounds under. I could have bought my 30-pound featherweight and put it in the arena with it, and it would still been underweight.
Also, if you put a mini bot into the field in BattleBots, you've got to be prepared for there to be nothing left of it afterwards.
I mean, it'll definitely be a televised fight, because they always show the ones where the spinner hits the mini bot and it explodes.
Everyone loves that.
It's a sacrifice. Yeah.
Such an interesting way to think about it is like, if you put a mini bot in there, everybody likes to watch mini bots get destroyed, so it would almost definitely make it into a televised episode. That's
Which opponent do you think was the hardest that you faced?
We found 3 big issues with our Bloodsport fight, and that's actually really what helped us get through the competition, because Bloodsport found all of those 3 problems in one fight, and it only cost us 1 loss.
I saw it in person. Wasn't it because your drive belt fell out?
So we made new wheels this year, and Jack made them in Canada. So we weren't actually able to test them in New Zealand, where we had the robot. So really their first outing was at BattleBots themselves, and they're like custom machined hubs and with just urethane rubber molded around them. And I mean, none of us, all of us looked at the design and thought, yeah, that looks great. Nothing's going to go wrong there. But they just ripped off and ejected all the rubber off of it. It was the rubber from the hub that fell out.
Oh, I thought that green thing was a drive belt. Oh, that was actually the hub from the wheel. Oh,
the hub was fine. The the rubber around the hub fell off. Yeah.
Oh, the tire fell off.
Yeah, the tire fell off. So the hub was still there, spinning happily, still attached to the chain. It's like, oh, I've got no more load on me. You can just spin.
And then for some reason, we're not too sure, the front wheel caught fire. So
did the wheel catch fire or the motor?
The ESC shorted,
Oh,
which obviously shorted the battery, and then once the battery had a good 30 seconds of full power dumping, it lit itself on fire.
Oh, that's what happened in our Adam 94 fight.
yeah.
But, we lasted 3 minutes. If the fight had been 10 seconds longer, we wouldn't have won. We were pushing, and I ran that robot way harder than a 2009 robot is supposed to run.
Yeah.
So we just sat there beating on it for 3 minutes, and at 3 minutes and 1 second, the robot exploded. But the judges can't count anything that happened after the buzzer, so
Nice.
we won.
Nice.
So what you're telling me is that it was perfectly engineered for a 3-minute fight.
Exactly.
That's basically that's what Paul does.
So when you came into BattleBots from the beginning, how many spares did you have for Perfect Phoenix? Was it just the robot and that was it?
We had bars.
Chassis.
We didn't have a spare frame, but we had spare electronics.
Honestly, that's the only way that we can get through a competition. If we only came with 1.5 robots, we'd make it halfway through the competition, and then there'd be nothing left.
We did make it halfway through the competition, and then there was nothing left.
So there you go. So yeah, I think in BattleBots, if you plan on making it all the way to the end, you've got to have like 2, maybe 3 robots worth of components.
But no, the whole robot, especially in such a the more robots show up, the worse it gets. Either that, or if you get like 3 lifters in a row, I guess you could get away with it.
Yeah, that's fine. But like if you're facing spinners every fight, like things are just going to get broken. Whether you win or lose, stuff breaks.
Jack, what were your thoughts going into this fight with Perfect Phoenix?
Yeah, going to the fight with Perfect Phoenix, it was our first time ever making the tournament. So first off, Tyler, like you guys did so well making the tournament on your first go around. There's so many veteran teams that have been trying for years to make the tournament, and you just come in and like smash it and hit that top 32 on your first year. So that is so awesome. So we were like stoked to make the top 32. We found out we're against Perfect Phoenix, and we're a little bit worried because we had just lost to Bloodsport, similar design, similar colors, and colors are important. And we've seen Perfect Phoenix kind of rip up the competition for 10 years now. So we did have a lot of fights to watch. We watched all of Paul's fights from the original 2009 BattleBots when he fought with the robot. So we did have preparation, but when there's big spinner versus big spinner, there's always going to be something that goes boom. So we're definitely worried about the damage we take because we've seen you guys dish it out before. So. And we've seen us not take it very well before as well. So there's a bit of both going on there. So
Tyler, what were your thoughts going into this fight against Endgame?
We were on our last set of spares, and we knew Endgame was destructive from the fact that it 2-shotted Tombstone. So we were very nervous going into it. I was thinking that if I could beat it, then I could go like top 8, top 4. Going into it, I was trying to be a bit more conservative with my fighting style. Sadly, that didn't go as planned. You kind of did that thing at the very beginning where it was kind of a trick. Like I was thinking it was going to be slow paced, and then you just knocked my robot into the air. I was trying to use the orange bar to weigh myself down a bit, try and stick to the floor, not get thrown up in the air. Like I said, I think I should have picked the red bar so I could get more clean contact on the robot.
When our wedges sort of touched, it was difficult for our weapons to even make contact with each other. So we definitely didn't have reach, trying to reach over our own wedges.
I was pretty worried about that, and I guess the blue bar was pretty out of commission from Adam 94. Pretty much, when I hit their weapon, it kind of chipped the blue bar a bunch, and it was kind of the structural integrity of it wasn't great. So I was gonna use the orange or the red.
Is the blue bar the bigger one with like the sharp edges?
The blue one? Bigger one, but the blue bar was the one I used against Adam 94. The one with the sharp edges is the red bar.
Oh, that one's red. Okay, yeah.
The longest one is the red bar.
So the blue one's longer, but is it still like AR or something?
Yeah, what are they made of?
It's AR 500.
Yeah.
But from using it, I think S7 might have been a better choice, just because has a bit more hardness than the AR. Because the AR, like in the fight, it bent up.
Yeah, we do find that the AR does tend to, it can bend, it gets cut. Our philosophy is being like we can deal with that after a fight. Whereas like if an S7 bar shatters during a fight, then it's kind of all over. Like see Witch Doctor this season. I was also trying to last, and I was hoping your one of your parts would break. A spinner has a lot of moving parts. I was hoping one of them would break. I didn't get a long enough fight to try and exploit any reliability issues or try to jam up the weapon, because we didn't get a lot of good hits.
Tyler, tell me about the fight with Endgame.
It was a good fight, a lot of action there. My frame got ripped apart, so it'll basically be a full rebuild because when the in that final impact where the vertical spinner hit the 11-year-old aluminum, it just basically bent, and it's usable as a cooking pot now. And on the team we call it a taco. I think our choice of bars was wrong. Because the gyro force from the vertical spinner would push the wedge down. We couldn't get that wedge under yours. So I think I should have gone for a blade with more reach, like the red bar. I think then we would have had a chance to attack the armor of Endgame. So in that middle part of part of the battle where we were head to head, you actually, the reason I let off the throttle and just got pushed to the wall, because of the weight of the robot for this season, it was like literally 30 pounds underweight. If you try to overload the motor, the ESC will fry, and that was our last one. I have no idea how the bar got bent up on both sides. I think it might have got hit, went around, and then got hit again.
Well, we do remember seeing 2 distinct chop marks on our weapon from your bar, so it's quite possible that we hit both sides. So what's your plan for next year? Obviously you're coming back, right?
Yeah, we're planning to come.
Are you planning on bringing Perfect Phoenix back, or have you got plans to start over and build your own robot?
It's going to be an overhead spinner titled Perfect Phoenix, but it'll be an entirely new chassis. The electronics will be the same except for the weapon motor. It'll look the same, but under the hood, it's actually pretty much entirely different robot.
Nice.
Jack, what advice would you give to Tyler as a young roboticist?
You know, we came through the VIX program and we learned a lot through that. But I think the main thing that I learned through that is kind of the hard work and persistence it takes to actually be good at these robot competitions. Obviously, like, you have this drive, but you know, to continue that is the main thing, because for someone to do well at BattleBots or any robotics competition, it takes a lot of time, and that's something that is quite hard. Yeah, I think my main piece of advice would be just to keep it up, man. Like, keep up the drive and the passion and the dedication, and I think you're gonna go pretty far. So
I mean, what I have to say probably echoes Jack a bit, really. It's just like you're clearly an excellent driver. Like, no one's going to dispute that. You've got to have everything though. You need great driving. You need a robot that like you can repair and get back into the fight later. And you need just to put in the time. If you didn't know, us coming into this season, we held the record for the longest losing streak. The losses honestly are what help you improve the quickest. That's where you really learn, what breaks, how it broke, what you need to do about it. Because like, if you just go in and you get lucky and you win, that doesn't really teach you much. Or like, if nothing happens to your robot during a fight, great, maybe it's good, or like you've not learned anything. Losing is really where you actually learn how to, be better at this sport.
So to summarize Nick's advice, ask production to give you the toughest robots.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened to us. Like, we got put up against like the hardest robots in the field, and that's really what taught us, like how to build a robot, how to make it not break, what goes wrong. And you're only gonna learn those things from fighting the best of the best.
Jack and Nick, thank you for your time. We're looking forward to the rest of the season. We will talk to you guys later.
Yep. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Join us next time for more exclusive interviews on the HEXBUG YouTube channel, and make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a second of the action. Thanks for watching.